Go get your graham crackers, your chocolates, and your marshmallows because we are about to go on a roast. Oh, yeah, I'm fired up for this one.
You are Locked On Oklahoma State, your daily podcast on the Oklahoma State Cowboys, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Howdy, y'all, and hello, all. Welcome back to Locked On Oklahoma State, your daily stop for all things cowboy and cowgirl related. I want to thank you kindly for stopping by and making this your first listen here on Locked On Oklahoma State. My name is Cody Stovall. You can find me on Twitter at AllDayOState. Do you see me going off and doing OU shows or shows about OU? Nah. Do you see me going off and doing shows about Mississippi State, Texas, Iowa State? No, you do not. Why? Well, I don't know. Maybe because I don't live, eat, sleep, and breathe in that realm. So for me to do it right, to put out a video that is accurate and correct, I would have to do an exorbitant amount of research. And realistically speaking, doing a bunch of research on OU, I've already done that. I've already done that, right? From the historical slant side, I got you covered. But I'm going to cover my team. And while we're doing so, what are little brothers good for? Little brothers are good for helping, right? So that's what little brother's going to do today. Little brother's going to be very, very helpful because big brother, you see my air quotes? You see my air quotes on the podcast? All right. Big brother would rather put crap out for content instead of being accurate. So we're just going to help. We're just going to help out today. So I've been watching, a few shows. Yes, I went down the rabbit hole. It was accidental, okay, but it happened. As I was preparing for today's show, I kind of want to focus on basketball, right? And it really kind of it snowballed on me, right? It snowballed on me, and just like you should obviously be checking out betonline.net. That's our title sponsor for the day because they can help you snowball more money. But this snowball effect of this show and then this show, and obviously you hear Paul Feinbaum and 24/7 or 247, and then you hear people like Hall of Fame College Football Podcast and the PG show. Now, to be honest with you, the first couple of them, I was just listening. I wasn't watching. So, I didn't know who they were fans of, to be 100% honest with you. But then I sat down, got the laptop out and then I could see, these are mostly OU fans. I know Paul Feinbaum's he's a mouth-breathing buffoon that says outlandish crap. He does about as much research as my 8-year-old daughter loves to teach people how to tie their shoes across the neighborhood. It just doesn't make sense, and neither does he. And sometimes neither do other people. So again, we're going to help out here. Let's cover some things that are accurate because, again, some of it was legitimate. Like, for instance, Gundy does terrible press conferences, and he doesn't really say a lot of stuff of substance. I would say 90% of that is true, right? 90% of the time, Gundy is really odd with how he answers stuff. Sometimes he's in a great mood and he gives a bunch of information, but the other 90% of the time, he's just kind of, we don't talk about that here. Oh, we're going to not talk about that right now. Oh, we're not going to talk about that right now. I don't talk to my players about that right now. So he's right. It's hard to connect with your fan base when you don't say a whole heck of a lot to draw people in. Another thing that was mentioned that is accurate is Gundy does have a propensity to lose the significant games, right? As much as any O State fans out there want to pretend otherwise, it is true. Every time we have the opportunity to seize the moment, we don't, right? That's a Gundy problem. Another thing that was said is Gundy can't recruit. I think that's a little bit ridiculous. I think Gundy's thing is he pinpoints recruiting. How many times as OU fans have you seen you guys never get on somebody? And then a week before signing day, you guys are like, okay, who does Oklahoma State like? Oh, crap, we're going to go after him now. You let us do your dirty work for years, That's fine. It is what it is. Another thing that was said that was fairly inaccurate, or fairly accurate, mind you. If Oklahoma State University doesn't move on from Gundy, we could go from, having the opportunity to seize the top of the Big 12 to crumbling down to the bottom. He's right. I don't think that Gundy should go this year because he's earned another season, whether you love him, or hate him. He has 100% earned that. Another thing that was brought up, the OAN t-shirt crap. This dude, he said, well, I'm not going to call Mike Gundy a racist, but obviously he has problems with the locker room. Was it not very mindful of him? Yes. Should he have been more mindful about what he was wearing when he was out hunting and fishing and whatnot? Yes, right, because you're in the public eye 24/7. But Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, y'all, it was a flipping fracking t-shirt. It was a t-shirt. And you got people like Paul Feinbaum back then in 2020 saying, I can't believe Gundy has a job. They should have got rid of him a long time ago. We can't have this racist type of mindset in football. Over a flipping t-shirt, I understand that in today's society, there is a decent amount of the people being, what's the word? Offended. Yes, there we go. And if you take offense to somebody wearing a t-shirt, well, then you're probably going to be offended by this whole deal I got going on today, because it is ridiculous. A daggone t-shirt. We're still talking about a t-shirt, and Gundy might be racist over a daggone t-shirt. Oh, we've got a lot more, but real quick, guys, I do got to jump in here and remind everybody, go to betonline.net. It's your number one source for all betting, sports, info, news, and analysis. Get the latest odds, trends for every professional and amateur league out there, from football to basketball, soccer to esports. We've got you covered at betonline.net. And if you love podcasts, got you covered there as well. We're always the fastest and the easiest way to get your betting fix. Head to the website today. Use your mobile device to learn more. Again, that is betonline.net. It is where the game starts. And here at Locked On Oklahoma State, we're just here to help you out and point you in the right direction. Okay, so now let's move on to some of the things that were just ridiculous. Okay, so some people have in their headlines that Mike Gundy's lost control of the team and there's a mass exodus. No, that is a far cry from reality. We lost Spencer Sanders, right? It's like that relationship that kind of reached its point. And if you're not going to get married, it's time to part ways. That's exactly what happened with Spencer Sanders. It feels right. We all completely understand. Did we mismanage him at times? Absolutely. Is that why he's leaving? Sure, whatever. Don't care. It's time to move on. We all see that in Cowboy Nation. Apparently, a lot of people don't. The sky hasn't fallen. We don't need to dive into the transfer portal to go after all these quarterbacks like Devin Leary, Hudson Card, DJ, Haynes King. No, it's a waste of a scholarship. We need to put every dollar we have into the O-line. Mike Gundy should give up half of his pay for this terrible lackluster season just to hire the best O-lineman in the United States of America and find extra NIL money just for O-linemen. Because if we fix that, in the famous words of Deion Sanders, we're coming. We are coming. Okay, so we don't have a mass exodus. Let's just stomp that mud hole down right now. Just because y'all may. Okay, you ready for this? So we lose Spencer Sanders. Yeah, that's going to hurt a little bit, right? We lost our best linebacker, Mason Cobb. For sure, that's going to hurt a little bit. But have y'all not heard from Justin Wright yet? He may not be as fast as Mason Cobb. He may not be as athletic as Mason Cobb. But he will do something that Mason Cobb didn't do a lot of, and that is shoot through the gap and do his job 24/7, no matter what. He's not here to make a play. He's here to smash your face in. Point blank, period. As is Lyric Rawls, as is Kendall Daniels, as is Trey Rucker. We want all of the smoke. Again, my name is Cody Stovall. You can find me at All Day O State. Stop getting on camera and behind a microphone and saying stuff that is absolutely preposterous just for what? Clickbait? You really want to sit here and say Mike Gundy's lost the locker room, but we've only really lost 2 major starters? We lose Mason Cobb. We lose Spencer Sanders. You want to go through the rest of them? Cool. Thomas Harper, he's been a backup for 4.5, 5 years. And he went through some injuries. And he knows for a fact the youth behind him, they're coming. Okay, so no big deal. Langston Anderson, again, he's going to be a good one. Wherever he goes, he's going to be successful, right? But he's buried on the depth chart at Oklahoma State. He always has been. And then the times he's kind of produced very well coming into the season, a couple injuries. So is that a big loss? No, it's not. We're very, very deep at wide receiver. We're going to keep this train going. And the dare, a linebacker, again, has hardly never seen the field. How is that a massive loss? Let's talk about Braylon Presley. You want Braylon Presley? That kid is a whiny crybaby. Let's just face it. That's a fact, right? And I give 13 hoots who does or doesn't see this because it's the truth. You can say something that is accurate, like Oklahoma State didn't use the running backs right. That's fair. That's accurate. That's real. But all this silent playing time and all that crap, when you did play, guess what, homie Skillet? You dropped the cotton picking football. I hope you do go to OU. That would be magical. Good for OU. I would love to see you go to OU so your whiny little wazoo back end can get put in the ground over and over again. Go to OU. That would be fantastic. They like the whine and crying drama. They like to make a bunch of crap up. Go for it, Budrow. See you later. Trace Ford, he's a big loss, right? He's a very, very talented player. He's NFL caliber, except for he then had knee surgery. I mean, okay, the grass might be greener on the other side, but are you going to find new turf that magically fixes your knees? I don't know. How is it a big loss? The poor guy didn't even get on the field enough to know if we were going to be able to suffer a big loss or not. And when he didn't play the last 5-6 games of the season, Colin Oliver had more stats. So obviously, I think we're going to be okay there. And then you want to talk about what OU's going through. Okay, cool. You want to act like there's this massive problem in Stillwater and Oklahoma State's melting down. Oh my goodness. No, stop putting what you're doing or what you're struggling with on us. You lost 42 players last year. We did not. You beat us in Bedlam. Congratulations. You have a wonderful 6-win season. It looks really, really good. Congrats. It's matter of fact, you guys look so good that you've only had, I don't know, let's see, how many transfers have you had so far? Nick Evers, Alton Tarver, Cedric Roberts, Jackson Sumlin, Trayvon West, Brian Darby, Theo Weiss, Kendall Dennis, Josh Eaton, Clayton Smith, Ray Walker, Bryson Washington, Jordan Mukes, and then you have Anton Harrison, Eric Gray, Jalen Redmond, and Wayne Morris. Those gentlemen, the last few, have the opportunity to go to the NFL. So please tell me how our 10 transfers is equivalent to all of these dudes. And mind you, 95% of these dudes, or maybe 99, are all 4-star, 5-star guys. We're losing backups. The only 2 guys that we know for a fact were daily starters that we will miss is Spencer Sanders and Mason Cobb. Spencer Sanders, again, it's like that relationship that you were just ready to kind of get away from. On both sides, it was an amicable separation. It is time to move on. I don't give a hoot if we go to the transfer market. I don't. I think it's a waste of a scholarship spot. Guys, stop letting other fan bases dictate how Oklahoma State fans should feel. Because honestly, guys, I was very, very, very confused yesterday. Throughout the entirety of the day, like seeing stuff on social media and then getting on a space with a bunch of OU players, or not players, dudes, whatever. And the common consensus is Oklahoma State is falling apart. And, Gundy can't control all of this crazy amount of transfers that are leaving. and we better gear up for a 5-win season next year. And I legitimately was like, where is all this coming from? Like, how are these OU fans and Texas fans and whatever just making stuff up? And they were very convincing in it. Like, they believed it. They believed that they were saying that what it was true. And again, it was very perplexing, which is why we had the Twitter space late last night, because it didn't make sense to me. I didn't know where all this crap was coming from. It's like, okay, we've lost Mason Cobb. Yeah. We've lost Spencer Sanders. Yeah. But what? Well, I don't understand. I don't get how all of these backups are a magical ingredient to a Big 12 title appearance. I didn't understand it. Well, now I do, because now you got all these dudes that have, platforms spewing a bunch of nonsense. So OU fans believe this crap because their own people who are supposed to do research, who are supposed to know what they're talking about. How can you live in the state of Oklahoma and have a sports show and be this ridiculously inaccurate on purpose? You are purposely spreading horse piss, and your fans are eating it up like hotcakes. Like, oh, yeah, this is awesome. OSU's struggling. OSU's losing their whole team. Mike Gundy lost the locker room. This is great. Okay, cool. But it's false, and it's wrong. The locker room right now, I guarantee you, and I know that because I've had players on the show, the locker room is stronger at this very moment than it ever was in the last season, with Mason Cobb in the locker room, with Spencer Sanders in the locker room. How is that possible if Gundy has lost all of the locker room? How do we only have 10 transfers and only a few of them started? How does that happen? Yet Gundy's lost the locker room. Does Gundy need to adjust some things? Absolutely. Because again, like I said in the beginning, there's a few things y'all were right on. Like, if we accept another season of mediocrity, Gundy's seat should be not only hot, but on flipping fire. But if he did lose the locker room, then it would be a mass exodus. And then you can title your videos accurately, because you making crap up just for clickbait, to me, it's stupid. And again, I'll take all of the smoke and all of the heat, because I don't say crazy crap that just outlandishly is not even close to accurate. I don't put titles up on stuff just to get people to click it, knowing what I'm saying is false. And if you believe it, that means you suck at research. That means you suck at doing the job that you signed up to do. Be better, buddies. Or, here's a wild one. Stick to your own school. If you know about OU dudes, talk about that. If you know about Texas dudes, talk about that. If you know about Alabama dudes, talk about that. If you don't know what you're talking about, just like your mom always said, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, shut your daggone mouth. Well, that's probably a good one, because your clickbait bull honky does nothing but rile up OU fans. And then it gets OSU fans who don't have time to do all the research. They see all this crap and they're like, oh man, this guy's falling. Really? The locker room's bad. We're losing a bunch of people. No, guys, which again, the only reason we're doing this is to help get people to have more understanding, more knowledge of OU State. Yes, I'm sweating. Okay, so real quick, before we jump on any further, I do have to, again, go over some of the benefits you have with BetOnline. Again, is the fastest, easiest, and best way to get your betting fix. So guys, again, I implore you, go to betonline.net. It is legitimately where betting starts. So what else was said? Okay, cool. Mike Gundy, we lost our best running back. No, we did not. Dominic Richardson, just because Gundy had an obsession with letting him run the ball over and over, does not mean he was the best running back. Film says otherwise. The fact that he's gone says otherwise. You think Dominic Richardson left because he didn't get enough carries? No. Dominic Richardson left because he knows he got too many carries. He knows that he's going to be buried third string on the depth chart this coming season, as he should have been this season. But Gundy's a loyalist, to a fault. So he got a bunch of carries. Is he the best running back? Again, do research, watch film, watch highlights, watch games, whatever you got to do. Just because he was RB1 does not mean he was the best one. That's why he's gone, because he knew he was going to be buried. So that's a false statement. And multiple places are saying that. Let's see. Losing. Mike Gundy has a losing culture. A losing culture. You know, it's funny. You say that, right? It's slightly contradictory, because then we had, another show that was talking about the records. And guys, they're reading this stuff off. Oh, yeah, it's only got 7 wins. Oh, he only got 12 wins. Oh, he only got 8 wins. Only got 8 wins. Oh, he only got 7 here. Oh, he only won 10 this season. Oh, that's another 10. Oh, and yet another 10. They're reading this stuff off while also saying, you see how bad Gundy is? You see how the losing culture exists because they accept mediocrity? That part, again, little accurate. Our inability to hold Gundy accountable is infuriating. Gundy's ability to crawl into his shell in the fourth quarter and piss games away and not being held accountable for it is infuriating. The contract he has, it is preposterous. He should, again, do the right thing and give half of it up this season for an abysmal 7-win season thus far. Yes, we could win 8 games, and we should win 8 games. Still a massive failure of a season, no matter how you slice it. But this losing culture crap, goodness me, no. If we had a losing culture and he'd lost control of the locker room, we'd look like you. We'd have 15, 18, 19, 22 flipping transfers. But guess what? We don't. And you see what there hasn't been players come out publicly, seniors that said they were coming back. No, they haven't. But if you covered Oklahoma State University, you would know they are saying stuff on social media. They are posting each other on social media. They've come up with their own emojis, ways to talk to each other about 2023 being a bad Mamma Jamma season. But you wouldn't know that because you don't like to do research on anybody but your school. And guys, by all means, if anybody wants to have me on the show, deal. If anybody wants to come on the show, deal. We want all of the smoke. Why? Because again, we're not out here saying stupid crap. I'm not over here talking about how OU's falling apart because of transfers and da. Are they? Maybe. Who knows? Don't know. I don't give 13 hoots. I could give 13 craps about what OU is doing. I don't care. I want to keep playing OU because I hate the fact that they puff their chest out and do all this big brother stuff, but it's because of Gundy, right? In our lifetime, the reason OU fans can still continue to be so daggone mouthy is because Mike Gundy has allowed that to happen, because Mike Gundy treats Bedlam like, oh, it's just another game. It's infuriating in and of itself. Stop that crap, Gundy, because some of this stuff is accurate. You should be on the hot seat. This 7-win season should not be acceptable. You will get next season because you've earned it and you deserve it. But if we have another 7-8-win season, it is time. Again, go listen to a couple of these shows because some of what they say is realistic. And we should listen. But we should also be able to filter out the bull crap. It's like, okay, that makes sense. That's not true. That makes sense. That's not true. Right? You get it? So what else? Oh, goodness me. I love this. Terrible recruiting. Guys, we just got our 13th commit. Again, it's a numbers game. If you have 26 commitments, even if they're all 2 stars, guess what? Numerically, you're going to rank higher. Point blank, period. Are they going to tell you that? No, because they're trying to paint a picture of this massive struggle bus about to leave Stillwater, Oklahoma. Stop letting people who don't know what they're talking about talk. If you're not ready to correct them, that's all. We have to correct people, especially when they're just. What else was said? Mason Cobb and other players were rumors going around that they're all leaving after TCU because they're so tired of losing. Yeah, really? Didn't we just win 12 games? And I'm no Gundy apologist. I again think if this happens again, Gundy should go. Period. Because part of what you are saying is right. if we fail to capitalize on the momentum of the last 10 to 12 years and the respect that we have, then we will fall backwards. And we cannot have that happen. We're not a big enough program to let Gundy or anybody else take us backwards. It cannot happen. Next season is absolutely massive in Stillwater, Oklahoma. If we don't end up in Arlington or win at least 11 games, I think Gundy should go. Because if he's unwilling to change in certain areas, then if you ain't growing, you're dying. But yet again, I'm a realist on Gundy. But I'm also not going to let other people that don't know anything, that refuse to do research, that sit there on a video and you can see them clicking. And the editing, that's great. Matter of fact, some of the editing in HOF, Close Football Pod, was really amazing. Guess what? I don't edit. You want to know why? Because I'm just going to spit it off the top and give it to you. Okay. Right. So what else? Brown and Weber, but just so people are aware, they got kicked off the team. They're not transferring. They didn't leave. They didn't leave because they don't like Oklahoma State. They left because the coaches said, hey, y'all, go find the door. It's time to pound rocks. A little bit different. Let's see. We keep rewarding mediocrity. Okay, yeah, that's kind of accurate. It's time to establish ourselves as the big dog for the new Big 12. That's accurate. The Gundy doesn't know how to win. Again, we've covered that. That's just stupid. Let's see. I needs to raise standards and stuff like that. Yes, that's true. Boone Pickens can no longer help save Gundy's job. Well, that's actually ridiculous because Mike Gundy and Boone Pickens did not get along for a very, very, very long time. They were not friends. They were not close. Boone did not want Gundy to be the coach at a few different times. So again, research. Wait, that's not true. We're not OU. You're daggone right we're not OU. Because we have these fun little things called integrity and morals and accountability and leadership. And for all of those that are going to be like, oh, that's not true. Guys, Tyreek Hill could have set the world on fire. He did one terrible thing, and he was gone within 24 hours. Boom, gone. Go look at OU's instances where they've had players get in trouble with the law. Does OU kick them off the team? I can answer that for you. 90% of the time, the answer is no. You keep trash. We kick trash. There's a difference. There is a difference. Let's see. Bad NIL. Not true. Again, research goes a long way. We have now 5 different NIL collectives. And again, if NIL was a massive issue, we would have more transfers. If people were just going and getting bags of cash, we'd have more transfers. We had one dude leave for a bag of cash, and that's Mason Cobb. And you know what? Whatever. Good for him. He's going to make more money now than he might ever make in the NFL. It's very, very possible. So I get it, right? But, we need to focus on Texas recruiting more. We do fine in Texas recruiting. And this is not 1999. This is not 2005. We don't just have to get people from Texas. We can now get people from Georgia, Louisiana, California. It's happened. Look at the roster. Again, research my dudes. Let's see. What was another thing? Can't recruit Oklahoma. Are you drunk? Do you get in front of a camera while pounding a fifth of whiskey? Lincoln Riley didn't give a crap about Okies. Lincoln Riley didn't care if he got Oklahomans or not, because Lincoln Riley's philosophy was, I'll recruit from sea to shining sea, from Florida to California. I don't need all these Okies. Thank you, Lincoln Riley. You opened the door for Mike Gundy, and we've capitalized. You're going to sit here and try to tell me that y'all didn't go after Kendall Daniels? False. You're going to sit here and try to tell me you didn't go after Colin Oliver? False. You're going to sit here and try to tell me you didn't go after Talon Shetron? Oh, wait, false again, because he was committed to OU. Again, research, guys, stop saying crap that's not true. We get better Okies than you do right here, right now. You're going to tell me you didn't go after Brim Presley? You're going to tell me you didn't go after Braylon Presley? Shut the front door. Stop. Either stop saying crap that's not true, or do some more research, or invite somebody on your show that can correct you when you say something that's completely stupidity based nonsense. It's a numbers game. We have 13 commits now. And the quarterback we have committed was in the top 10 of the Elite 11 until the very last day of the competition. I don't think the Elite 11 takes trash quarterbacks, or at least, I mean, they used to not to. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Yet this rewarding of mediocrity stuff, right? That's really the best part of what I've seen on some of these shows, because it really gave, an insight into how people feel across the state, right? The thing is, it's fine. You can think whatever you want. That's great. But I'm just saying, for O State fans in particular, don't buy into stuff if it's wrong. I'm here to spread knowledge. I'm here to spread the success of Oklahoma State University because, yes, we are one of the top 10 most winningest programs over the last decade. If you want to play pitsy-patsy group of 5, like maybe you could find a Boise State. That's real cute. But when you're talking about big boy football, the only teams that have won more than us are your Alabamas, are your OUs, not your Texases, not Arkansas. And I'm not throwing shade, except for where the shade needs to go. And the shade tree should reside all over Norman, Oklahoma, which isn't 40 miles away. It's 70 miles away, like 71 to be exact. Again, research. Could I get on in front of this camera and microphone and blah, 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 blah about OU? Yeah, I could. But I try to stay in my lane until somebody comes into my lane. When you come into my lane, I'm ready. I'm coming for whatever. So, again, my name is Cody Stovall here at Locked On Oklahoma State. You can find me on Twitter at AllDayOState. You can find me on Facebook at OStateAllDay. And if you want my email, just let me know. I am down for anything at any time. Because we can't take this crap that's false and deem it as acceptable. Right? It's the same thing. When your child does something inappropriate, you have to correct them. Well, when people don't know how to drive and they end up in the wrong lane, they need it's called a course correction. So that's all. That's all we're doing here. We're just course correcting. Again, this is just little bitty brother helping big brother. So you're welcome, guys. I think that's all I got. We made our first appearance on Locked On Oklahoma or Locked On Big 12. So y'all go check that out. I'll probably even put it up here on my show as well. It was a lot of fun, right? I loved being on that platform. Josh Neighbors is really the main reason I got into this whole job. So yeah, I had a blast getting on Locked On Big 12 Network. But guys, when you see stuff like this, shut it down. Stop buying into crap from other fan bases that don't know anything about what's happening in Stillwater. Because it's wrong, it's false, it's in what Trump would call fake news. Yeah, but it's being dispersed like it's reality. I get it, it's an opinion, and opinions are like what's, and everybody's got them. But if you don't wipe well enough and your stinks to high heaven, then again, little brother's just here with the aerosol to help you out. Again, that's all I got for today. We'll talk basketball amongst other things tomorrow. I think I have another current player, a running back, jumping on the show tomorrow. We've been discussing. I just haven't landed on a time, but that should be tomorrow. Yeah. Go check out obviously the interview we had with the new transfer portal linebacker Justin Wright, the guy who's kind of designed to fill that Mason Cobb area, and with 101 tackles, it's very, very easy to see that as taking place. Lyric Rawls, that was a fun show. Tatum Bell was a fun show. Stephon Johnson Sr. was a fun show. Guys, we're going to keep doing this thing. But, and I apologize for going longer than normal, but I don't apologize for getting hyped up when I see nonsense. Shut it down. Shut it down or send them to me. Cool? That's all I got. I love you all. God bless. Go Pokes. And I will see you on the next one.